Okay, my name is Zach Porras. I'm going to talk about a project that I created recently using Selenium web scraper and Python. This program is meant to actually add some functionality to another project that I created a couple months ago where I had a full stack web application that users could log into and store information about Star Wars books that they had read. The issue that I'm addressing with this, however, is in that application, you have to manually enter all of the information about the Star Wars books, whether it be the summary or the author, and there's no option to add an image about the book. And so in order to add a little bit more robustness to that application, I wanted to create a web scraper that fetched all that information automatically so that you don't have to enter it in, and so that it's stored in your program so that you can use it later. This program, or this file right here, Star Wars Book Scrape, is where most of the functionality lives. This class here, Book Details, has all of the methods that are used to retrieve all the information using Selenium. So this docstring has a short description. It talks about the one attribute that the class takes in, which is a string that is the Star Wars book title. Then all the methods are described right here, but I'll go through those specifically within the code itself. After the init method, there is a getBook method, which pulls up the page that the specific Star Wars book is located on within the Utini website. From there, all of these other methods grab all of the information about the book that you're looking for, such as the author, the book score, which is a number rating that the Utini folks give to all of the books, a verdict, which is a one-line summary of the book, the actual publisher's summary, the book's image or the cover image of the book, and then this book all details method, which is a sort of driver method for the rest of the methods up here. It finds the book details page, and then it prints all of this information, and then it quits the WebDriver at the bottom. The next file is just the driver code for testing the actual book details class. So book details is instantiated with this myDeets object, and then book all details is called upon to run all of those methods. Once we test this, we'll see all of that printed here down below. This last file I'm going to show you is where Selenium is actually instantiated. So WebDriver is imported up here along with this service class. All of these options are added to the WebDriver. Most of these are just meant to run Selenium as efficiently as possible to reduce runtime. Headless right here actually allows Selenium to run without opening an external browser window. So it's just a lot cleaner of an operation when this is running, whether it's just here on its own or when it's folded into another application. The service class is instantiated right here, and that, along with all of these options, are pulled into the Chrome WebDriver class, and then the driver object is used to access all of the information here by finding different elements in the HTML. So let's test this out. I'm going to look up this book called Master and Apprentice. It's by Claudia Gray. It's a wonderful book. If you're a fan of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Qui-Gon Jinn, or Count Dooku, I highly recommend it. So all we have to do is input that string as the argument for book details, and let's run this. So it's running down here below. Pretty soon it's going to print all of those details that each of those methods fetches. And here we go. We have Master and Apprentice, the title of the book, author Claudia Gray, the book score, along with a string or a word that categorizes the book, a verdict for the book, the link to the image of the book cover, which if I pull that window over here, that's right here. The publisher summary down below, which is any number of text blocks, and then the code exits when we run driver.quit. 8.9 seconds is kind of an average runtime. I've had it running as quickly as 6 or as long as 10. And that's the program. A couple challenges that I ran into. One in particular was when I was setting up the book summary method. So Utini has two different ways that they store the book summary text within the HTML. One scenario, it is within a p element that is a child of a div. The other scenario that I ran across is there is no p element, the text is directly within a div. So I have a conditional right here that checks based on this search whether there is a p tag where I'm looking at this path that has text in it. If it does find that p tag, it runs the search and pulls the information out of the p tag. Otherwise, it assumes that scenario 2 is happening and it runs this path to find a div and it pulls the text directly out of the div. The other challenge I ran into was just making sure that this was as efficient as possible. Like I mentioned earlier, I have it running as fast as 6 seconds or as slow as 10, but when I originally created this, it was running as slow as 25 seconds. That's because I was rerunning this getBook method every time to call upon all these other methods. I realized later, after some experimentation, that you only have to open up the web page with Selenium once, and then you can do various different driver.findElement searches with that same page open, and you don't have to keep reopening that page with Selenium. At the very end, driver quits that one page, and that's it. So that improved the efficiency of this a lot. So like I said, this is meant to be folded into another application that I have to improve the features on that web page. I do also want to create a Selenium web scraper for Star Wars character information down the road using the Wikipedia fandom web page. That web page has a much different layout in terms of HTML, and so I have to kind of start from scratch, but that would be another fun way to use web scraping to enhance my Star Wars web application. So that's the project. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, I would love to hear them. So just drop me a message or a comment wherever this video is posted. The GitHub public repository will also be linked wherever this video is posted, so you can go and check out the code for yourself if you'd like. Otherwise, I appreciate you watching this video, and have a good one.